Anchor Air technology transmits from one main unit to as many other compatible receiver units in range. You can have as many receivers connected as you would like, as long as they are within the 300-foot range. The Anchor Air network operates in the 900 MHz frequency. Just like a radio station, you set the main unit and the receiving unit or units on the same channel. Easy as 1, 2, 3. Here's how. 1. On the transmitting unit, use the dial to select the frequency, displayed here as the X unit. 2. On the receiving unit, select the same frequency that was selected on the transmitting unit, displayed here as the R unit. 3. Ensure that the units are within 300 feet of each other and play loud.
Hello folks, Glenn here from Anchor Audio in Carlsbad, California. We are going to talk to you today about our Anchor Air technology and applying it to cover very large areas. And this is basically taking wireless technology that we build into our units, and we then basically network different units in a configuration. I'm just going to draw it out for you. But just to know, our transmitters here are built into the units. The transmitters have one antenna. The receiver looks just the same, and it has two antennas. So what we're going to do is we're going to position units with transmitters and receivers to cover this large area, but we're also going to need to link a few of them with a cable so that they can link a receiver to a transmitter and give you more coverage. So with that said, let me just kind of map out an example for you. If we were to take a large, let's say, factory floor or multiple football fields end to end, what we would do is we would start with a transmitter. So that transmitter unit has a range of about 300 feet. So if we use that range of about 300 feet all around that unit, it's like a radio station, really. If you can have that analogy, you would basically have this signal, transmitting out to 300 feet around this transmitter unit that I showed you earlier. So I'm transmitting, and what I need to do then is obviously receive that signal. So let's say within range here, I'm going to put a receiving unit to receive that signal, audio signal coming out from our main being received here. So now if we get into sound waves, you can imagine that the sound waves are being spread by this speaker. This receiving unit over here is going to cover an area of either the factory floor or a football field, right? And so that sound is being projected how I project that speaker, right? So I'm covering an area. And so the coverage of the area, that's an audio function. You need to determine, based on your selection of anchor gear, what area you want to cover. But we're now trying to cover a very broad area, again, whether it's indoors or outdoors. So remember my range of 300 feet here. I've got 300 feet all around this transmitter unit that I can transmit to. That means I can put another receiver over here. Let me get my colors right. Got another blue receiver, right? So I'm going to transmit over here, and this, again, this is a transmitting unit. This is going to give me audio coverage, right? As an example, I'm covering an area, and we can get into that specification in more detail when you design your system. But here I'm covering more audio, right, in black. This is my audio signal going from the transmitting unit here to there. So remember, this is 300 feet over this way, 300 feet over this way, right? 300 feet, roughly the length of a football field, roughly 100 yards, right? So I've got 100 yards, 300 feet, 100 yards, 300 feet. So how do I then extend this further, right? Because I'm limited from my transmitter that is transmitting and giving me this area where I can get that signal. I can put as many of these units here I want. Again, to give me more coverage, I can put as many of these receiving units projecting out in different areas the sound, right? So depending on where the crowd is, what my goals are to cover the audio signal, I can design that within this area. So today, the reason we want to draw this out and walk you through this very quickly is we're going to introduce to you the daisy chaining of this Anchor Air technology. And what that's going to do is it's simply going to take the signal from this receiving unit here. See, I'm transmitting here, I'm going over here to this receiving unit. And because of the limitations of the transmitting frequency to this distance, I need to put a cable on this receiving unit. So I would basically take the line out, this line out audio connection, and basically bring it in to the line in of a receiving unit. So then guess what that receiving unit, will then do is it will basically give me this other X over here, and it's going to be connected in by a cable, and that cable is going to take the signal it's receiving over here, send it into this new transmitting unit, and what does that do? That gives me another 300 feet. So I've got another 300 feet this way, where I can then, again, daisy chain another R unit that's going to be receiving that signal. So that's how I've been able to basically take this 300 feet here and extend it out, and I can continue on. So to zoom back out, imagine this being your first football field, this being your second football field, and this being your third football field. Okay? Just trying to map out that this cable here basically helps you connect and extend the range of the air technology with a daisy chain. Thanks for listening.